Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Today we are going to discuss about the golden ratio. I have given three pictures in this particular thing. One, the spiral galaxy. Second, phi, long side divided by short side, equivalent to both side divided by long side, equivalent to 1.618. This is one value given by scientists or mathematicians based on Fibonacci sequence itself. Second thing, man-made concept of mathematicians in the world had given the phi's value 1 plus square root of phi divided by 2 is equivalent to 1.61803398887 never ending words. These two the values have been given. Now the question comes, is this question, the golden ratio given 2 are perfect or not perfect? That's the reason I say. And what is the perfect divine design of nature is what I am going to talk about it as we proceed. I am trying to rectify all the mathematical defects, physics, chemistry, medical sciences and other subjects with divine mathematics Divyank. Let's start with it. Whenever I am in doubt, I watch cosmos. This has been my observation since my childhood. Why do I do? I see a uniform, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, perfect divine design of nature only in the universe, not in anything else which is visible to me with the naked eyes. My first teacher is divine nature and I go by that only. I read, I have read, I will continue to read, but I am looking from the reading the perfect, impeccable wisdom. Anything short of that, I am not prepared to accept. Now the picture of the same picture down, you can see Aham Brahmasmi on top and Tat Tvamasi down. Why did I put these two shlokas of Sanskrit in this particular thing? Now, first thing is Pindan Brahman Ekam. That means human physical body and the Brahman, the universe, are identical, though both are alike. You can see the picture on top is a human body. You can see it's me. And I talked about the 10 chakras. I do not talk of 7 chakras. Even Sat Chakra talks of only 6 chakras, not 7 chakras. And seventh, when I look at solar system, Surya Mandal, I see 10 heavenly bodies only, nothing less, nothing more, out of which 7 I can see as a moving from Sun to Moon to Mars to Mercury to Jupiter to Venus to Saturn as a something going at 7 days as a uniformity. I am looking for the knowledge which cannot be found to be defective. I have done that. 7 from that angle I understand. But solar system also I see only 10 suns which scientists have made it very clear with binoculars. And this particular thing is what I call Aham Brahmasmi. But when come to Tattvamasi, we will understand as we proceed. Up to this, Aham Brahmasmi is correct. I and the universe are identical, and my work speaks of the divine mathematics, which is universe and human being are completely identical. Ancient statement with a precise, concise mathematical design of Divyank has proven to me that this is the answer. Second question, now we talked about the Fibonacci sequence and who created Fibonacci sequence I have already given. That whole thing was revealed by Maharishi Yajnavalkya 5000 years ago, and also the symbolic representation of that which was found in Ayodhya temple buried. I have also explained how beautiful is that. There you can see 0, you can see 7, you can see 13 and also you can see 29. When I see 13, it is 5 plus 8. When I say 29, it's a 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 13. I think that is a mathematical concept very clear, which Yajnavalkya talked about 5000 years ago. It is not by someone from the West, and he has also written clearly that he got it from Indians. Let's leave it there. But what in this picture is, what the golden ratio is, 89 divided by 55 is equal to 1.618. That's it. And that's where I say this is too simple to be of any use otherwise. This gives you like the Fibonacci sequence, an overall idea. But divine perfect mathematics is not in 1.618. Simplicity is good, but too simplification is not science. And I make that very clear. Now come to the question of next. Second universal example is divine proportion. A golden ratio is also called divine proportions. That means there should be divinity in it. And the picture on top is a 5. And the picture down is again Fibonacci sequence and something shown in that which has been used by mathematicians throughout. I'm not going to talk about it at this given moment. We'll talk about it little later. Now come to the question of golden ratio. 1.61. Now we'll understand the standard description which is given in books. When a line is divided into two parts, the longer part divided by the shorter part is equivalent to the full length divided by the longer length. This is what I've written in the very first picture itself. And this is a graphic presentation. You can see the left square plus total is a rectangle. So there is something building up that as far as golden ratio is concerned, it is a rectangle and it is known as golden rectangle also. But in that concept also see A into A is a square, B is the rectangle, but put together is A plus B. We will understand that as we move on. Second example is two quantities in golden ratio. If their ratio is the same as the ratio of the sum of the larger of the two, it's the same thing in different words. And the graphic presentation is A plus B divided by A, or A divided by B is into 5 is 618. And same thing, long side divided by short side, at both side divided by long side is equivalent to 1. So somewhere along the line, one set of mathematicians have given this example for golden ratio. I accept this is done. It's too simple, I agree. Now comes the question of golden ratio is man-made mathematical concept. Problem with mathematicians is they think the human mind is capable of creating concepts, algorithm things, concept, theorems, etc. And mathematicians of the world have called phi 1 plus phi square divided by 2 into this particular number. So I say this is a gross deficiency and misconception. That never and infinite number of decimal digits makes no sense to me because it is not application in life. Can many never end digits be applied in life, in science or otherwise? No way. 1.61 is too simple and this is too long. Both are not applicable. As a result, the question which comes to my mind, we must find the most appropriate, most approximate decimal digits of golden ratio. That's it. We must unfold the divine mathematics of nature is the question which comes to my mind. And I am glad this particular picture of Michael Mestillo, as you can see the picture very clearly, he is the first person talked about first inverse golden ratio decimals of 0.61800340. Very, very clear. He had written about this to Kepler, his student, in 1597 AD itself. No one explored, enumerated, explained his intuition at all. It was left dead. Why did they not discuss or work on it? I do not know. And it's not my duty either. But anyway, this was most approximate inverse golden ratio, which was perfect with the digits of only 6, not more than that. Now let's see the different examples of golden ratio. Right on top you have spiral galaxy, absolutely no doubt. The same picture you can see in Fibonacci sequence, absolutely no doubt. Same thing in shank, conch, you can see knotless shell. Ratio of length and breadth in all the three is identical. This is giving me an idea. Three different things look identical. If they are identical, so then there should be divine mathematics also involved, because nature uses mathematics only. The language of nature is mathematics, mother of science is mathematics, and everything scientific, and that is only conclusion can be done. That is what I talked about from Akhand Vidyashram. Eighth step is to find mathematics, ninth is to bring a symbol, and 10th is to apply. Those three important parts of Akhand Vidya is what I am talking about it. First 7 part everybody talks. 8th, 9th and 10th, which are conclusive, they look but they don't contemplate on. Now we are going to see different examples. You see the flower, sunflower as such, and the picture in it. Same picture down is a Fibonacci sequence. I think I agree. The scientists have done very well to see the observed things. So you see a rectangle which is called golden rectangle. Within that is a particular structure. You can see Fibonacci sequence, and this as such brilliant work, no doubt. Same thing, spiral galaxy above and whirlpool down. When there is water moving, that in the ocean, the shape of both is also identical. So nature is same, it works the same way, there cannot be a difference at all. I think that makes our subject for exploration better, because we have found the structure, we know the length and breadth of a golden rectangle. Now to come to question of Greeks have also made buildings which length and breadth is the same ratio. Same thing is in a shell also. I think this will take you to the next stage to say how the golden ratio is going to reveal the divine design of nature as we move on. You look at this particular picture of Mona Lisa. Everybody has admired this picture, and I do believe it is a brilliant work, Leonardo da Vinci's. And the shape is exactly according to the golden ratio. That's why she is most beautiful. Even today we talk of some people whose face is the golden ratio, we still consider them to be brilliant. I'm not going to name anyone, because there are many people in the world who have representation of golden ratio in the face, body, and also the DNA itself. I have already shown that Divyank DNA is a perfect, much better than Boston and Crick's DNA, for which they got a Nobel Prize in 1953. Now these are the pictures which are shown of the golden ratio throughout the world. I am not going to go into details, because they all have the same. This is only a few of the things, but I am going to show as we move on different examples from smallest to the largest, where we are going to see golden ratio emerging step by step. But as you can see, Fibonacci sequence has helped me to understand that there are first 1.618. So first three numbers are correct. But golden ratio mathematics has shown infinity is too bad. So after 1.61, is it 3393? Or there is something more than that, which is precise, concise, and nobody can find fault, but with that entire universe can come up. I think that's where we need to go to. Let's go to the next thing. I had used the word Tattvamasi. I am very sorry to say this particular shlok is from Chandogya Upanishad. It is not in Veda. But I am also sorry to say the spiritual people who talk so much about mantras, they say Tattvamasi is like Aham Brahmasmi, I am like the God. I am very sorry to say in Sanskrit language I cannot make sense in Tattvamasi, I am like God. Aham Brahmasmi, I am like God, I can understand. Aham means me, Brahma is God, Asi is identical. But Tattvamasi, it does not mean to me. What does it mean to me as such? Tat means the divine design of nature. As simple as that. Tvam is everything. Tat is a divine nature. Tvam is every object of the universe. Asim is identical. That means every object of the universe is identical. This is the meaning in this particular shlok. If that means the perfect objects are designed with perfection is one part, there must be divine design of nature one. What is the divine design? The question which comes to my mind. This is where I say the divine design of nature is Divyank, which was revealed for the first time in the history of mankind in 2015 only by Shibhushan Sharma. That's me. But Divyank is 22 by 21 to the power of 10. Power of 10 plus 3, 3 plus 3. But this is a formula which is designed by nature, not by human mind. I have gone to the extent of that level, not with a man-made concepts, but something more than that. And this 1.618034 is the most approximate decimal value of nature, as I have written very clearly with 7. 1 divided by 7 is 0.142857. 6 digits, here also 6 digits. And I think that is Chakra Nirupana also talking about. And this is the divine mathematics I see in ancient Indian work or Vedas, Upanishads and scriptures, where Brahmins have given the divine mathematics step by step to the world without any doubt. So man-made concept of golden ratio R5 both are defective. This is the perfect one, there is no doubt. But it goes much and much here. Hereafter, we are going to see its divinity to the extent how nature did it and how did I find it. Now comes the question of this. A few intuitive questions based on the picture which I have shown. Can I find the most approximate value of the divine golden ratio? Now I am using the word golden ratio with divine. These are divine proportions using Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem again, although it is done by the Western Pythagorean, I have respect for him, no doubt about it. But again, the first person who talked about Pythagorean theorem was not Pythagoras. It was Maharishi Yajnavalkya, to the best of my knowledge, which he talked about 5000 years in Brahmana Sthapana. And I have already shown that's what it is. Now, can I find the accurate length and breadth of the following symbol of the divine golden ratio? I call this as a golden rectangle, and I call it the golden thing, the divine proportion. Let us design the divine rectangle in the next video. Now, hereafter is going to be very clear. We are going to find step by step the perfect ratio of Divyank ratio rectangle, length and breadth first thing to start with, then show one by one how 22 by 21 to the power of 10.344 actually is leading to that. I am trying to make it as simple as possible. So we are going to discuss that in the next video as I move on. But a sense of this is very clear that Fibonacci's neighbor is given 1.61, man has given something longer, and this is the perfect. And leaving that, we should move on to understand concept much more clearly step by step as we move on. And this picture I am not going to discuss, we are going to see its likeness as we move on step by step thereafter. But I think this is enough for the thing. Let's enjoy the next video of seeing Divyank rectangle or golden rectangle and appearing just length and breadth alone using Pythagorean theorem. Once that is understood, it will be easier to go thereafter. So the new sets of videos which I am making is a Mahagranth by itself, sequence from 0, how we have come to 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 140 as Fibonacci sequence, and how from this we have come to 1 by 7, I also spoken about it, how we have come to know Fibonacci sequence, how to golden ratio, how to go further, and C is applied part, and rectify all the education of the entire world without any difficulty at all. All the defects of the mathematics, physics, chemistry and medical sciences I am removing one by one, so that the whole world has a uniform syllabus for every student, from school, college, university, research to peace scholar to everything. Everything, there will be uniformity, no disparity which we see today. The world is suffering basically because nobody knows the divine mathematics, and the answer is only divine mathematics, which nature did it. We find abundant in Vedas, Upanishads and many scriptures of Sanskrit particularly, but unfortunately we are not able to translate because we don't understand. That's the reason I given Akhand Vidyashan the answer. So the Akhand Vidyashan problem is to give the world the wisdom which is unheard of, but in the result all the clarity comes and the world enjoys the wisdom perfectly. And with that I come to end. Thank you very much.